Okay guys, we are back with episode 2 of the UGC Diaries, and today we are talking pitching and outreach. As a UGC creator, you need two things. You need to be able to make the content and sell the content. UGC is a sales job as much as it is a content creation job. As a UGC creator, you need to be the best salesperson going. You need to be able to walk into a room and say, hey, I know there are hundreds of thousands of other people offering what I do, but this is why I can benefit you. I think a big mistake a lot of UGC creators make when pitching is saying, this is what I want to do this for. This is why I want this collaboration. This is why I love you. If you're emailing a brand, they will already hope that you like the brand. They don't want to hear what they're going to bring to you. They want to know what you can bring to them. You never want to lead a pitch with, I love this brand and therefore I want to make the blah, blah, blah. You need to lead your pitch with, I can bring this to your brand, which other creators can't. You have a gap in your content and I can fill that gap by blah, blah, blah. That's why I thought this is such an important episode for anyone starting out in UGC or wanting to grow their career a bit further. My name is Millie Jean. I'm a full-time UGC creator, social media manager, coach. I do about everything in the content world. So I'm your girl when it comes to this kind of stuff. The first thing I want to talk about is structure. They don't care if you've been passionate about their brand since you were 5 years old. What they care about is what gap you can fill that is going to make them more sales. The worst pitches I read when I coach people are, hi, I love your brand. I've been using this product for years. I want to make content for you. This is my socials, get in touch. There are 3 big mistakes in there and I'm going to explain what they are. Pitches are like the UGC videos. You need a strong hook to start off. And if your hook is, hi, this is who I am and I love your product, I'm not hooked. You need to start with why you've emailed. Introduce yourself in a sentence, but make sure that you jump right in with what you are offering. The second mistake in that kind of pitch is, I'm gonna do this, blah, 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 and not, I am gonna bring this to your brand. A tactic that always works well for me and the people I coach is going onto that brand's socials, showing that you have looked at their pages and saying, I'm noticing that you're missing, etc., in your content. I can bring this by 1, 2, 3. And leading on from that, the third mistake is saying, I can make this content, full stop. Tell them what content you can make. I always provide at least 2 concepts in every pitch I write. Because it's one thing saying, I can make great lifestyle videos, I can make great unboxing videos. Not every brand is gonna have the time to go through your portfolio and see that. If they aren't seeing a great concept that is genuinely tailored to their brand, for all they know, you wrote that in ChatGPT and they're not gonna read a word of it. So to summarize, point 1, quickly jump in with the purpose of your email. Speak about what you can bring to them, not what they're doing for you. And number 3, back your concepts up. Give them a quick script, give them a hook. Always give something more than I can make this video. Secondly, kind of involved in that point is USP, unique selling point. When I pitch to a brand or an agency, one of the first things I mention is that I used to run a small business and I say that this allows me to see it from the marketing side of things. So I know what is going to perform well online and I know how to create it. Then I jump straight in with the fact that I'm a trained actor and I've been to drama school, so I'm good on camera and I come across as authentic. Then I quickly jump in with some engagement from past collaborations and campaigns. What you do by doing that instead of saying, I'm a content creator and I make really good content in the beauty niche, is you provide a difference from yourself to the hundreds of thousands of other creators. Yeah, anyone could be authentic on camera, but brands like knowing that they're in the hands of someone who has kind of had training in being authentic on camera. They like knowing that I know the content side of it, but I also know the marketing side of it. You might have done a business degree. Make sure to mention that right away and say what that is going to do for your collaboration with them. Unique selling points are the only thing that's going to make you stand out in this super highly saturated market, so make sure you use them. Number 3 is how to find brands. There are so many different ways to do this. This is one of the instances where I really like AI. ChatGPT is brilliant. What I'll do is say, find 30 brands in the UK who sell this product, who have been known to work with creators, those buzzwords, and it will give you a list of brands, and then you go and research them and craft your drafts. Facebook ad library is a great place as well because you can see the brands that are running ads, so you know these brands are going to put money behind campaigns. The same thing with TikTok ad library. Again, you can see which brands are paying for campaigns. Another thing is literally scrolling through your Instagram feed and seeing what ads are on. Same thing with TikTok, and you can go, okay, I'm going to note this down as a brand that pays for ads. Another way is to go on Twitter and type in UGC examples, see what brands people have worked with and write them down. Now on to number 4, if you are pitching in person, this is brilliant, by the way, I cannot push this enough, then you need to make sure that you are confident enough. Pitching in person isn't for everyone. This can really make or break the deal. If you're a confident, bubbly person, you go in and you own what you provide, they are gonna think, oh my God, this girl really is different from the hundreds of other people offering the same service. Whereas if you go in and you're not big on your people skills and you are a bit quiet and you don't sound like you know what you do, then they are gonna go with someone on an email who even might have written an AI generated email but sounds professional. I have business cards, so I always recommend that if you are gonna pitch in person. What I do is I'll go in, I'll introduce myself, say I live in the area, and tell them briefly what I do and say I've looked through their socials and I noticed that they could use a bit of this because it's performing really well in their niche. And then I will say how I've helped brands in the same niche on campaigns or collaborations in the past. And then I'll say I'd love to do the same thing for them. Are they around for a quick chat for 5 minutes? This is another thing, you have to be prepared for rejection. It hurts more in person. An email, you can click it and click off within 5 seconds. In person, you have to stand there and take it. And that brings me back to the thing, if you have to be confident and you have to know that what you're doing is worth the value of what they'd be paying. A lot of the time, these places with a quiet social page don't know where to start, so it's really helpful for them to see someone in person, to see that they're real, and to have a genuine human chat. It can work so heavily in your favor, but you need to be able to communicate what it is that you can bring to them specifically, not just what you do. I will touch quickly on pitching on apps because it is a little bit different. With apps, you're not gonna do this big same email. They usually share the brief, the script, exactly what they want, so you can tailor yourself exactly to that. A lot of the time you won't need to send a concept. All you will need to do is pinpoint a few things in the brief and then tailor your skills and experience to those things and say how you can make them more authentic on a camera than anyone else would be able to. For example, if it's a fitness campaign, you can say, I've got a balcony that I can do yoga on with great views. I've got a gym that I can film in. I've been working out for years, so I can speak about this in a really knowledgeable way. It's more focusing on their brief and what they want than kind of sharing your ideas and things like that. Absolutely add a personal creative touch to it, but make sure that you kind of take their brief and put yourself in it. Now, let's say that you do land a couple of collaborations, always over deliver. I always try and add in a couple of extra clips, or if I'm doing raw footage, I'll extend the time, or I'll add in an extra photo or two. It just shows that you're serious about that brand and they'll want to come back and work with you more than other people. And finally, looking at follow-ups. Follow-ups are often where I get the most of my work. I have a lot of brands who I'll follow up with every couple of months and they'll go, actually, we do have a new brief and we'd love you for it. So don't be afraid to email a brand again. And the way I would structure it is, hi, I loved working with you on blah, blah, blah. Now that we're way into Q4, I had a couple of ideas for some festive content for your brand. Give the ideas and I'll just say, do you want to hop on a call and chat about what your goals are for this quarter, and hopefully we can sort something out. That's the thing, once you've already worked with these people, you know how they talk, you know if they're friendly or more professional, you know how to speak to them to get it to go in. If you are looking for a place to find a list of brands, if you don't know where to start, because I know it is quite overwhelming, I can send you a full list of marketing and press and PR emails to get you started. All you need to do is message me on my Instagram, which is MillieJJean, or drop a comment with your Instagram and I will message you. But if you have any other questions about pitching or outreach, please drop a comment and I'd be more than happy to answer them in another video or drop me a message. Bye guys.